6 riders on track. The big battle here will be Playstead versus Page. Nick Lazos in third. Isaac Ayed, he heads up the second row. Phoenix O'Brien in the middle of the second row, and new to the series, Crew Knight completes the second row. Looked like we might come into some rain, but it's just being held off at the moment. The wind has dropped for today, so we might be lucky here. Go out for a warm-up lap. Come back and get ready for a race start. And we're joined here with commentary as well with Angus Grenfell. Last year's competed in the World Junior GP class. Hey Angus, thanks for coming up.
Thank you for having me. Should be a good day's racing. Judd and Jake are looking really strong, and Phoenix O'Brien did really well in the warm-up this morning. Was 1.5 seconds faster than his qualifying time yesterday. So me and Wayne were looking at him yesterday. I'm one of the head coaches this weekend, and yeah, going through his data last night, was able to really help him for the warm-up this morning. So he's definitely one to look out for. But yeah, it should be Jake and Judd to take it away in the front. They're looking really strong and on point as we get ready for the race start.
We've got Playstead taking his place on pole position. Page in the centre of that front row. Nick Lazos completes the front row there. As Angus was saying there, Phoenix O'Brien in the middle of the second row. Found 1.5 seconds this morning. Here we go. Away we go. Playstead wheelies off the start. Wheelies off the start, but he gets the whole shot for the field. He leads Jake Page as they come around for the first time up into turn 4. Isaac Ayed, he's slotted into third place.
As they come through turn 7, well, they can't hear me through this, can they? They can. And now onto the back straight and turn 10. This one's a real tricky one for them. Downhill, it's a place where you can lose a lot of time and a place you can make a lot of time. If you do have that aggressiveness, yeah, it's definitely a strong point for Jake. He's going well there, and that's where Phoenix was able to make up a lot of his time as they're coming down the first lap. Jake's on the hunt. He's looking. I told him he needs to be aggressive this race. He wants to be on that top step.
Oh, that's having a big look there, Page. You're right there. He's really showing the aggression right from the lights out. It's Page with all the aggression, putting it to Playstead, and he'll be looking for a way forward here. The back half of the circuit, they come down the hill. Page all over Playstead. And behind them we've got Ayed, Phoenix O'Brien and Nick Lazos. They're in a tight battle as well, but they have dropped off the front two just a little bit.
It does look to see that Johnny's playing a little bit safe, or not safe, but defensive to hold off Jake.
Page makes the move at turn 4.
There he goes. But
oh, and Playstead back up and under.
Running a little bit hot. This is where these boys are really strong. This flip-flop here. They go well. As they come through 8 and 9 onto the straight.
Now, Angus, this race is a pretty long race. We've got 18 laps here. I guess race strategy is going to come into it a little bit here. What do you think the guys would be thinking? What would Playstead be thinking?
I think he would like to get away from Jake, but I don't know how that's going to hold out. Jake is looking very strong. And have we had a pass for third? We have. Phoenix has got Isaac. So as they go into 1 and 2, and we've got the boys coming into 4 now. Again, Judd playing it safe.
Yeah, Plaisted there is really playing the defensive line really, really well. Back behind him, Phoenix O'Brien, that's a great move to get out in front and really showing that improvement from the warm-up this morning. Now they're just settling into a bit of a groove here as the race progresses, just settles into a bit of a rhythm. Page, he's backed off on the aggression just a little bit, riding a little bit smoother, but still late on the brakes. Right on the rear end of Plaisted.
The boys got to be aggressive, got to play it smart, not make erratic decisions. Pass where he knows he can pass, and how to pass, be clean. So I think, and I do think having an 18-lap race is really good for the boys. It's very much like what they will get when they go over to Europe, because these boys, they're at the top of this class. They will be going over, most likely going over for the end of that finale for the FIM MiniGP, where, and even in my races over in Spain in the FIM Junior GP, they had 17 lap races. So for these boys to be getting that long run experience, how to fight with the boys for that long, could be starting to rain here, I think. There's a couple of drops on our window.
Yeah, just starting to rain.
Come down heavy, so the boys, we might see a red flag here, because yeah, we got the red flag.
Red flags
There's
are
one
out.
rider down at turn 11 there. That is Crew Knight. He's up and okay, but yeah, red flag here. So yeah.
Right, we're back on track now. We've got the guys coming around in the 190cc class, FIM MiniGP, FU Sport class coming around now. We've got a rain interruption. We're back on track. They've fitted the wet tyres. They've come around for a siding lap, and they'll be straight into the race start, and it will be a 15-lap restart. Oh, 13 lap, sorry, 13-lap restart.
They're lining up now. Judd was very strong in the rain, so was Jake, and same with Isaac there.
We're just waiting for Jake Page now to come up, take his place on the grid, the middle of the front row. We've got a stalled bike here.
He's got it started.
Ready.
Ready to race.
Start his hands. They're off. Clean start. That's Aid. As you're saying, it's a good start there from him. He's slotted up into second behind Plaisted, I think it is.
We saw a lot of crashes in turn 3 and 4 yesterday in the wet. Turn 3 does have a little bit of standing water when it does come to race. When it rains, it has standing water in turn 3 there. As a tiptoeing through 5 and 6. Isaac there is looking very strong underneath Judd. There he goes. So we'll see what he's able to do now, if he's able to pull the gap. He definitely seems like he's got some confidence. Heading down 10-11. Oh.
Riders just feeling out the track surface at the moment. They're not sure of the grip levels. They only had the one siding lap, but not a lot of time to work out what kind of grip they've got. There was no warm-up lap, straight into racing. So now as they come around, it'll be Isaac Aid to lead Judd Plaisted, with Jake Page there in third, Phoenix O'Brien in fourth. But the field's still reasonably well bunched up here. And they're just feeling their way out through turn 4, that tricky turn 4, as they head down the hill.
Biggest thing in the wet is you want to stay smooth, you want to use all the track, all you can get. Some of the boys, when it does get wet, they kind of worried about the wet too much and don't focus in on their lines, hitting those apexes. But looking at Isaac, looking at his lines at the moment. He's really able to, focus in. Same with Judd. Just boys trailing behind. Jake seems to be able to, get his confidence now. Seems to be putting in a lap.
So we can just see Jake Page, he's just testing those brakes a little bit more at every corner. Just trying to get his feel. He's going to have to work relatively fast. 11 laps to run now. So he can't let too big a gap build between him and Judd. Still Phoenix O'Brien, Nick Lazos, they're still quite close. Just Crew Knight a little bit off the pace. He's a newcomer for the class this year. So head down the hill again. Isaac Ayed, he's still out front.
Yeah, and Jake's really been able to close that gap. Was 1.3 or 1 second to Judd, but definitely looks like it's closing now. So, and yeah, mention of Crew Knight, I've been his rider coach for this weekend. He's definitely improved a lot. So yeah, it's his first year in this class. He's only been on a road bike for a couple of months now. He was doing motocross, but it's starting to really pick it up. But these boys, yeah, have had a bit more experience. But yeah, that gap's come down to 0.5. But Isaac is pulling a little bit on Judd at 0.6 as they went over the line. He's really got that confidence. And Jake's on Judd's tail.
It's going to really come down to who can sort out the conditions quick enough. Now, the rain has actually stopped. The track isn't going to dry too quickly, though. But the rain has stopped. Oh, no, that's close. Jake Page makes the move on Judd around the back of the circuit. And Judd had a bit of a moment there. And Page has been allowed to go through. Judd Playstead not looking that comfortable. He's falling back into the clutches now of Phoenix O'Brien and Nick Lazos. And Isaac Ayed out front, he's growing in confidence. Page as well.
Yeah, I think Judd's just a little bit shook from that moment out of turn 9 there. So it might take him a little bit. Oh, we got a pass, do we? Yep. Nick Lazos goes underneath Phoenix O'Brien. Wasn't able to make it stick, but letting him know he's there. Yeah, these boys, Jake and Isaac, put a gap on these boys. I think Judd might just be holding up Phoenix and Nick Lazos after that incident. Moment, I should say.
Nine laps to run now. And Ayed is still out front. But Page is just closing just ever so slightly. He's just testing the brakes, testing what he can get away with. And it looks like his feel is just increasing, but Ayed is doing everything right here at the moment. Lazos and O'Brien still hot on Playstead's tail. This is where Lazos will just have a look around up the inside, and can he make it stick this time? Yes, he does on O'Brien. He goes through into P4 with Ayed still looking good there out front as he comes up the hill around the back section of the track. Lazos, now he's through on Playstead in the back section. That was a good move.
Yeah, Lazos looking very strong. They're into turn 10 on the brakes. And the leaders between... Oh, Isaac's really... Oh, it's not Isaac, sorry. Lazos is really caught on the tail of Jake. That lap before, the gap was 0.7. Let's see what it is now. 0.5 for Page to Ayed. And yes, Lazos on their tail. I think Lars is going to have a look underneath Jake, and he goes for it. He's underneath him. Is Jake going to be able to get him on the cutback? We'll see. Not
No.
quite. So that leading trio there has got a small gap back to Blusted and O'Brien.
Lazos really likes that section of track that coming into turn 4.
He's on the hunt here. I think he's just got that little bit of temperature in those tyres. He's got the feel for it. He's actually going over to Thailand to race, I think it's the R3 Cup, is that right? Oh, and he goes down.
Slight lose. It only took a slight loss there, loss of traction, and Lazos is down just as he's really looking to take the lead there. So he'll remount and off he goes again. That was unfortunate. So it leaves Isaac Ayed out front with Jake Page in second now. Lazos is remounted. Crosses the start-finish line. 6 laps to run now.
Lazos was able to set the fastest lap on the lap before with a 104.334 compared to Isaac with a 105.0. So it was 0.7 of a second faster. So that's why we did see him catch so quickly. But Jake was able to close that gap that we saw form after Lazos' crash. But it's a bit of a shame for Lazos. He was riding very strong. He's got his head down as I'm looking at him going through turn 4 at the moment.
He might have a little bit of damage there as well. He's just coasting around the track now, unfortunately. As we're watching Isaac Ayed come back around for another lap. 5 laps to run now. Jake Page, he'd be aware of the situation and what he's got to do to win this race. Got a lap traffic now coming on crew night. Ayed around the outside of turn 4. Page going down the hill around the outside of Knight. Now it's up to Playstead to find his way through. Now very close. I think we've
got to change for the lead.
Got to change the lead. Maybe. Oh, it's very close there. Tiptoeing through that back section. Ayed's still able to hold on, but Page really testing the limits there of traction. And what can Page do? Can he bide his time again? Have another crack around the back end of the circuit. Oh, we've had a faller again. It's Phoenix O'Brien, is it?
Crew Night.
Crew Night, sorry. Just coming up that slight rise. Lost the front. Now watching Isaac Ayed still with that slight half-second gap back to Jake Page.
I do expect Jake to come back on Isaac. Oh, and he's down.
Oh.
And he's down, and he's balked Judd, busted. So O'Brien's in second now with a pretty reasonable gap in front of him to Isaac. But Jake's back on his bike quickly. So he hasn't lost too much time. He's only a couple corners behind. That's the thing about Jake. He's not shy to push the limits. That's a good thing about him. Yeah, Isaac's looking real calm out the front here. He's just doing what he knows, riding well. We've only got 4 laps to go here, so we'll see how this race plays out. It's always tricky in the wet. You can be out the front, you can be 5 seconds ahead, and just one slight mistake can alter your race. So we'll see how Isaac plays this out. As he comes up, he's coming up to Lazos here.
Now the big thing now, big battle now will be between Playstead. Oh, as Playstead has a bit of a moment going to turn 4, locks up the rear, and he loses time there on Phoenix O'Brien. He was trying desperately to bridge that gap to Phoenix O'Brien, but just that slight lock up in the rear coming into turn 4 really just dented his confidence a little bit. And now the hard work begins again.
Isaac was able to pull 2.4 seconds on that last lap compared lap times to O'Brien, 3.1 seconds to Plasted. So he's looking smooth. We said that before. We'll see what Judd does. He has had a couple of moments with his confidence a little bit knocked, but knowing him, be back on it. 2 laps to go now. Isaac's passed Lazos, as we saw him crash out before. So Page was able to go 2 seconds faster than Plasted and O'Brien. So we'll see if Page is able to catch up. He's definitely closing.
Yeah, he's closing. It's a possibility, but it's a big ask at the moment with only a lap and a half basically remaining. IAD still looking really smooth out front. He's really worked out the conditions here. He's gone past Nick Lazos now, who we said crashed earlier. And Phoenix O'Brien now coming up on Lazos.
I think Isaac will just be playing it not safe, but he'd be able to see the boys behind him in the corner of his eye as he comes around, as he was coming around the last corner. We'll see how Lazos plays in this battle between O'Brien and Plasted. Could be getting in the way a little bit. So we're on our last lap. So we'll see how Lazos does hold up Plasted with Jake on the hunt for him. Only has another little moment coming through 4 where he did crash before. Lazos playing it really safe into turn 7 there into the bowl, holding off Judd. And Jake's closing in hard. And yeah, Isaac's just out the front doing his thing. They have closed on him a little bit, so we hope he doesn't play it. He's got 2 corners to go, but he's playing it a little bit safe. Be, I'm sure, his first win of his 190 career.
This has been a great performance from Isaac Ayed. He really worked out the conditions very quickly, and he's one happy camper. Well done. And Phoenix O'Brien, another great performance. He, as you were saying earlier, he improved massively in that morning warm-up. He's transferred that into the wet race and put in both the 2 first and second place getters. Excellent performances with Judd Playstead coming in 3rd.
Bit unfortunate there for Jake, crashing out. But really good job from the boys. Phoenix O'Brien's only been riding a road bike for 12 months now. I've been watching him down at Moto Tuesdays in Oakley, down in Melbourne. He's really starting to smooth out his riding smarter, listening. It's one thing we like to see as coaches. When we tell our boys to do something, and a lot of them do, sometimes you do have to remind them a little bit to get the ball going. But Phoenix always seems to take on what you say, take it on board, and put it into place. And so it's great to see him on the podium. Plus said there, yeah, 3rd. Don't think he'll be too happy with that. He is putting his hands up at Lazos for getting in the way. It's a bit of a sticky situation. And Lazos is coming around for his lap, even though he has finished. But we'll see what Plasted does have to say about that. I won't be too happy.
Yeah, I think, look, 5 of those guys really had their opportunity during that race. We saw Lazos go down. We saw Jake Page go down. We saw the others just have a moment. Just moments of lost traction where they just couldn't keep that confidence up.